Oh, hey there, welcome to Creative Crusade, my ongoing art journey. As you can see, I got locked down here in the basement, and I'm now being forced to make these videos in the basement. No, I recently moved to Idaho, and the basement is the coolest spot in the summer heat, so that's why I'm down here. But anyway, today's lesson is, so it is applying construction to insects and arachnids, so bugs and stuff. First of all, make sure that if you want really well explanation in addition to this video on how to do this, be sure to watch Uncomfortable's demo videos, because those are very helpful and they help me, and they can most certainly help you as well. So let's start off by trying to draw a dragonfly. And as Uncomfortable explains in his video, there are 3 main sections typically to an insect, and so those are kind of the 3 areas you focus on for those main blobs of construction. So on this photo, wherever it is, of this dragonfly reference, we can identify there are 3 shapes. There's the head, the main body, and then kind of the tail-ish. So let's go ahead and get some really basic forms for those. So I like to start with like the middle piece here, just because it's a little more connected to everything else. So we're just gonna draw a simple blob like that, and I'm gonna add the head on here. And I'm not including the eyes in this, and I'll just draw the eyes on as their own separate little blobs. Whoops, sounds a little bit bigger. That is okay. So now I'm gonna try to draw the tail, and since this is a very long tail, I'm going to apply what we learned in the branches exercise and essentially draw him a branched out tail. So I'm going to draw the action line, gesture line, whatever line. That was a bad try of what. And then I'm just going to apply, just like in the branches exercise, I'm essentially drawing a branch here, but it's the tail segments. And we can see in the reference image it gets a little bigger at the end. It's just gonna do something like that. Then I'm gonna go ahead and connect these. Whoops. A little off course here. A lot off course. We'll just go with it. Alright, so there's our basic tail. It would have been better to actually segment it out more, according to, if you look at the reference image, you can see how there's little individual, like I guess, sections of carapace that the dragonfly has, and you could include those by just drawing more segments. Next, let's draw the wings. So, wings connect the top here. One is behind where we can't really see. I'm just going to draw through my form so I can see. And what I like to do is just give it kind of a gesture line, just because it kind of helps me to establish where those wings are in a very basic way. And then I'm going to draw, it's very similar to the branches exercise. You can do that this way as well, where it's kind of like a very tapered branch in a way. It's just flat. I'm going to draw, since the wing is curved and the lips there, gets a little bit thicker at the bottom in the middle, and then up here gets a little bit, it's a lot thinner, and then it eventually just connects to a very small point to that spot. So now I'm going to treat it like the branches exercises for connecting these 2 points. And the wing is, it's okay. I'm gonna try to make this a little better, which didn't really work. And we can draw the wing behind it. Again, doing the same thing. And try to ghost a lot. because otherwise you're gonna make a lot of mistakes like me here. So, and we're still drawing through, so this wing, the part I just drew, is behind this other wing, so technically you won't see it. And now the legs. We can see this dragonfly has about 4 legs and 2, oh no, it's got 6 legs, okay. So the legs connect somewhere around here, so I'm just gonna put a blob here. And another one right next to it where the legs connect again. And again, what I like to do is just do that kind of gesture line. Just really help me visualize where these legs are. Alright, so now I'm going to treat these like the branches exercise as well. Big spot right there, smaller segment here, smaller still there, and smallest right there. And connect them. And sometimes so I made this leg a little bit too long compared to the reference image, so I'm just going to move its joint up and just kind of figure it out. That way it's a little more accurate to what it should be. Alright, now the eyeballs. The eyeballs. The eyeballs, I didn't really draw them right. So the head should be smaller. So let's go ahead and just kind of try to reinforce this eyeball. Give it some weight. And then there's kind of like the front of the face here. Just gonna draw like a basic shape in a box. That's another thing. When you get more into construction here, it can be really helpful to start drawing more complex forms. For example, like right here where I'm doing, it's really hard to see, but if you draw more of a boxy shape, it gives you more context to how that 3D form interacts with 3D space versus just a cylinder, which could be anyway, kind of, if that makes sense. And I'll go ahead and illustrate this point more in the next one after this. I'll do one that'll actually show you what I mean a lot better. Alright, so that's a very quick and dirty way to do a construction of a dragonfly. And as always, just like in the plants exercise, you can go into detail if you wish it. And again, just be mindful of your forms, wrap around your forms. If they're bending, then bend with it. If it's flat, like the wings here, don't bend with it because it's flat. Just be aware of that. Alright, so let's go ahead and do another insect. Alright, so with this reference image of the beetle, it's got a more of a boxy shape, and it's not like a perfect box, but it's more boxy, and you could do it as a box, which I'll do now. So I'll draw the very back part first and show you what I mean by, like, you can make by doing boxes, which provide more context. So this is just one way you can do it. There's several ways that produce results. And so, of course, you want to draw through it as well. And then I can add on that middle part of the body, either as a sphere or another square if I wanted. I'm just going to do a sphere here, just because I think it's a little bit more rounded. And then the very front of the face right there. And you can already see how this gives it a much more, that you can tell what side of the thing you're looking at, and that gives you a lot more context. And from here we could add on the legs, like here's a spot, leg goes there, leg goes there, the leg goes somewhere right there. We could draw those kind of gesture lines, just draw those legs. I'm being very quick here. but it's quite simple if you let it be simple. If you just break it down in your head and take the complex objects and just try to simplify it into boxes or spheres. And it's very helpful to do it that way. Like, you add on the little antenna things if you wanted. But you can always go into more detail. So you start out very basic, very simple, and you get more complex the more you go. And then at the end is when you add your texture and detail, if you want to, which you should at least try it once, just to push you out of your own comfort zone. So that is a very quick way on how, or quick startup show you how video, which is meant to build on what Uncomfortables has done, on how to do, or how to, I suppose it's just how to draw insects, the name of this video. So that's it. I hope this helped. Thanks for watching, and I will hopefully see you in the next video. Or actually, just like I said before, I won't ever actually see you. I'll just pretend to see you again, but you'll see me. Anyway, I hope this helped you. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you later. Oh, and happy Independence Day.